This week, climbers have it, with access to Wright Rock in Staffordshire being revoked due to persistent violations of the access agreement. Before the ban, access was agreed upon the following conditions: only climb there from a Friday through to a Sunday, a maximum of 6 people there at a time, keep noise to a minimum, no dogs, and finally, no climbing after 5 p.m. What makes the matter worse is that this isn't the first crag to be banned within the last few months, with Wildcat and Griff's Buttress being 2 other examples just within the Peak District. Now perhaps it's no surprise that these access issues are occurring within the Peak District, given that the Peak District is, at least according to the UKC logbooks, the most popular climbing area in the country. And where there are more people climbing, there is more pressure on crags, especially when you have a limit such as you had at Wright Rocks for a mere 6 people at a time. The other challenge is communicating the message of access and the access agreements that are in place to all these new climbers and established climbers as well. Within the case of Wright Rock, it should have been simple because there were several things put in place to prevent bad access occurring. And the first, and perhaps most simple, is a sign that you have to walk past in order to get to the crag, explaining all of the criteria that have been put in place. And it's pretty clear that some people have been walking past and ignoring that sign. And in light of that, there really is no excuse. So when you're looking to visit a crag, there are 2 things that you can do. The first is to look at the BMC's RAD app, which contains all access information for crags within England and Wales. The other option is to Google it, and ordinarily that would put you straight through to the UKC logbooks, where it will contain that same information. But the key is that this becomes a normal part of the process while planning a day out climbing. There's a variety of reasons why crags will have no access. It could be because there's birds nesting there, the military is firing, or because a shooting estate has closed the land. Even whilst the crag's open, it's worth bearing in mind best practice and etiquette. And we've produced a recent series on that indoor to outdoor transition, highlighting best practice whilst you're at the crag. Whether that's keeping your boots dry and clean so that it doesn't erode the rock, or brushing tick marks away, not using excess amounts of chalk so that it's not unsightly for other users. Perhaps there's a separate conversation to be had about access to outdoor spaces. And Labour have just announced their intention to introduce a Scottish-style right to roam access agreement into law. While some may say there is no place for politics within climbing, access affects everyone, as does the environment, and we strongly encourage all climbers to vote accordingly with these values. So going back to Wright Rock, the BMC are currently in the process of renegotiating access, but please leave the crag alone in the meanwhile. This has perhaps been a bit of a wake-up call with the premier crag of the Churnet now being banned, and perhaps a reminder that we as a community, be that UKC or the BMC or as climbers, need to try to stand up for our crag access and challenging bad practice where we see it. So if you're still with us, other than liking this video and subscribing to our channel, please do one or more of the following. The first, download the RAD app today or bookmark the UKC logbooks. And next, try to spread the word about best practice, be that at the crag or via social media, to keep the conversation going, because it needs to be kept in the limelight.